Genius was rotating last game versus Impunity to help his jungle survive throughout the early game, and that could be so incremental in this game against T-Tigers. If he's able to perform similarly where he helps his team get through the early game, it could mean that they get to the late game stage where ROX Armada really does excel.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, you say ROX Armada excel at the late game. Tribe is definitely not a team that you can sniff at in the late
Definitely
game either.
not, no.
With a team as mechanically skilled as Tribe, and they're all on the same page, it's a team that really understands each other, you expect their late game team fighting to be exceptional as well. So if we do get to a late game stage, we could see something similar to what we just saw in that last game where the teams are so close, so level pegged that you just have this insane matchup of late game team fighting.
Yeah, for sure. And Tribe is one of the strongest teams when it comes to late game. I mean, Zeo with the live buff, he beat Chuck in lane when it comes to CS and I think overall performance in a live stage. And he went toe-to-toe with Old School. So Zeo is in contention to be one of the best laners at this world stage right here. So it'll be interesting to see how that matches up against Ingenious in this matchup. But I feel like in the late game, Tribe may have a slight advantage because Armada gives up objectives for free. And I think that's something that will be a weakness for them. If they don't contest and let their enemies take turret or Kraken for free, that's a losing trade for them.
And you can see the coach for Tribe Gaming, Hot Sauce, is one of the most known or most well-known support staffs coming out from North America. So a very strategic coach as well. He helps them with draft, helps them with strategy. So they're a very well-rounded team coming into this matchup.
All right, I wanted to start to talk about the draft. We're getting geared up to get on into this game to find out how this group is going to finish up here. What are we expecting to see? Because it feels like in that last game, even though it didn't win, the Churnwalker was one of the most influential picks, but also the Kestrel is something we haven't seen the rest of the day. But Impunity proving that it is a powerful pick on this update.
Yeah, it's a powerful pick in the right hands, in the right situations. And I'm curious to see if we will see it here. I don't think so. But at the same time, you know, we talked about last series about picks that suddenly become very common at the live events that we don't necessarily expect. Zeo is one of those players that is usually on the forefront of that. We'll go back to last Worlds. No one was expecting Scarf to be prevalent. Zeo picked it up and just started dominating teams with it. So you have to watch out for what he is going to be playing on the Fold.
I think in terms of first bans here, Churnwalker or potentially the captain bans are probably a priority, like Arden, Churnwalker are ones that a lot of teams prioritize, especially against the top team. Again, we see Vox, Rona, and Blackfeather also top priority picks. But now we see Kestrel coming to the fold, some CP laners also looking very strong into a Vox. So let's see who is going to pick up the Vox and how this draft is going to then play out.
I mean, what Sui Junior is talking about here is the trends for this tournament that are already being set with the captain prioritization and the very specific carry picks, such as the Vox that was just banned. This does leave the Churnwalker open for Tribe if they want to go for it.
There we go.
Yeah, this was a very prevalent pick in North America over the course of the autumn season. Basically, since it was available in North America, it was TSM and Cloud9, the ones bold enough to pick it up to start. But then after a couple of weeks, it was a staple part of the North American meta. And you can see that coming onto the world stage. We saw it do wonders in the last game, and I expect it to be an incredibly powerful pick in the hands of Tribe.
Yeah, especially with Max Green on it, you know, being able to choose when to go in, when to try and engage with that trespass and land those stuns. Arden is going to be the answer for ROX, so it's not going to have a Grace coming through, not going to have that healing to worry about. So now that opens up actually the carries that could become available even more so.
So Rona could be banned here, or potentially Blackfeather. Then they'll take the Rona. Because right now, if you look at it, Lorelei is also open, and she's very strong as well. So potentially that could come out as a ban as well. But Rona and Blackfeather look very, very strong right now, and that's what our Armada probably wants to pick up as their second pick.
I mean, if they do ban the Blackfeather and then pick up the Rona, that definitely sets them up to play a very aggressive composition. And Tribe won't have too many picks that they can play against, except for something like the Sky, which they can get countered with the Taka at that point with the last pick. But talking about the Lorelei, the reason why we're still mentioning her, despite Arden and Churnwalker being picked up, is that Lorelei CP is a potential pick.
Yeah, Adagio being banned here because Adagio, Zeo plays a weapon Adagio very, very well. You know, the double tornado trigger build with Sorrow Blade. It's a very strong, aggressive early game type of competition, especially with a Churnwalker, and you pair that with a Koshka. that's a very smart ban by Armada here. So definitely done their homework against Tribe.
And that's exactly what you expect from a Korean organization like ROX.
Yeah, I mean, they did their homework, but I don't think Adagio is that strong of a pick in 2.10 just because of the Tornado Trigger nerfs. Adagio specifically was strong because of the Tornado Triggers stacking onto him. Those were nerfed by 5% when it comes to the crit damage that they provide. So ROX Armada doing their homework, but I think it's unnecessary in this meta.
All right, well, we'll see whether that is the case as the draft continues and as the tournament continues as well. But you certainly can't really ban out Dienzio. He's a player with a lot of carries in his arsenal. He can definitely fall back on other picks, but definitely respect shown to the opposing carry coming out from ROX Armada.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where this ban is going to go towards for Tribe, because obviously you want to think about the Blackfeather and Ronas, but
yeah,
the Lorelei is still very prevalent and has been banned in the second rotation almost every game thus far today.
Wow, Baptiste being banned. That's a very interesting ban, because I feel like Churnwalker can hold his ground and fight a Baptiste, which is what Baptiste also wants to do. And they're giving Blackfeather to Armada. Again, Mango on Blackfeather is just deadly, and this is the first time we're going to see him on a Blackfeather.
But now they can run the Rona, which has been the counter to Blackfeather throughout 2.9 and 2.10. So I think Tribe is okay with it.
They'll just CP to Blackfeather.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Koshka pick also that we could see coming out from Tribe. They banned the Baptiste potentially just because they saw ROX Armada play it against the Koshka and were successful with it. So there it is, Tribe looking to pick up the Koshka. That's why they made the Baptiste ban.
Now for their final pick, obviously likely to be looking for something ranged for Zio to have up in the lane, but you also wanted something that has a bit of burst and AoE because you have that Churnwalker. You want to be able to pair with it, but there's a couple other options that we see paired with a Churnwalker.
Oh, Sky, weapon power. Yes, that's actually a strong one from North America. C9 and Tribe are two teams that played it throughout the regular season.
Yeah, this leaves Rona open, but weapon power Sky actually works really, really well into Rona because of how mobile Sky is and how she can dodge Rona's ultimate easily. So they could potentially weapon power the Blackfeather here and then pick something very strong in jungle when it comes to CP that could actually hold its ground. But since Baptiste is banned, there's not a lot of competition in jungle against this Koshka. So potentially it goes Samuel. Actually, Taka would get picked up. Wow, to counter the Sky. But it's a weapon power Sky, so weapon power Sky does a little bit better into Taka.
These are both very high damage, very aggressive compositions. We could have a bloodbath on our hands here, gentlemen.
Yeah, Taka and Koshka are going to be going toe-to-toe from the start. T-Tigers and Mango being the two that have these heroes is going to make for a very entertaining jungle matchup.
You could see the smiles there on Tribe face, and I couldn't disagree or couldn't agree with them anymore. I think the draft that they had there is phenomenal for them just because Blackfeather is going to be put on lane as weapon power. He has one of the weakest early game stages for carries in that position, so Sky weapon power will be able to play aggressive, Koshka will be able to play aggressive, and Churnwalker there to support them. Tribe will try to snowball this game and just close out before ROX Armada gets to their late game stage.
All right, very quickly, single word answers as we head into this series, the last series of Group C. Who is going to be the favorite here?
Tribe is going to win the early game. If they let Armada go to late game, Armada will win the late game.
That was not a one word answer, was it, Sweet J? Tasty Bacon?
Tribe wins it.
Tribe?
The Tribe wins it. I think T-Tigers will roll over Mango right here.
All right, it's a Tribe desk here, but it's time to pass it up to our casters and find out if Tribe will be able to take this one or if ROX are going to hold on to their own as we head on into the last series of Group C.
I mean, I don't want to come off as too biased over here, but I'm a big Tribe fan. And with this draft, it feels like it's going to be real tough for ROX.
I mean, if you are a fan of Impunity, then you're a Tribe fan as well, because if Tribe are able to do 2-0 ROX here, then Impunity are going through, as far as I understand, into the quarterfinals. That is huge for Impunity. That means that they have successfully defeated the ROX Armada, the world champions, and that is groundbreaking to have done so in the group stages.
I mean, what an unbelievable way to start this championship.
To start your day. First day. Day one.
We couldn't ask for a better storyline to get us started here. Now, if you guys don't know about Tribe, this team is all firepower. And we're going to see mechanical plays coming out of this squad.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun.
But as far as drafts, this is very interesting. Dowsey, you had a lot to say during the draft. Break it down for us here.
Man, Tribe has won this draft so well. What an intelligent draft coming out of Tribe. I love it so much. Weapon Power Sky. I knew this pick was going to come out in spades from North America this Vainglory championship, and so far I'm excited to see DNZero perform on it. Not only does it force the hand of ROX ARMADA, the fact that, I'll tell you why, because it forces the Black Feather, which could have gone Crystal Power, Black Feather in the jungle to go CP. Crystal Power, Black Feather relies so heavily on his on point as his main source of damage, and Sky is just so mobile that you can dodge that on point.
Right.
And so you cannot play Crystal Power, Black Feather into Sky as easily, into Weapon Power Sky that is just stutter stepping all around you. And so, for that reason, it's a really clever pick. It forces the Black Feather into the lane where they can deal with it. Not only that, Baptiste was banned, which is the main counter into Koshka. And so really, the only thing, and something that Mango is so well known for, and it was probably calculated from Tribe, is that Tucker pick. But Koshka counters Tucker so heavily, those levels 1 to 5, where Tucker does not have his X-Retsu. So Tribe, they won the lane via their draft by picking this Weapon Power Sky, and they won the jungle as well. Now all they have to do is execute those win conditions of dominance in the jungle and scaling up in the lane, and they're well on their way to winning their first game here against ROX ARMADA.
Definitely a tall task. I mean, if you find yourself behind in the draft up against a squad like Tribe, it's going to take a lot of work to pull yourself back. Now, this is the second minion candy we've seen out of Ingenious. I wanted to touch on this, have you talk about it. We saw it coming out, Tribe starting with double minion candies. Well, hold that thought. Now, T-Tigers, he's in a bad place. Pounds, plus the movement speed, he'll find his way out of there. And this is looking really nice early on. We'll see if they want to contest this Elder Tree, and it is started up by ROX here. Max getting his hook and chains out, only has one landed. It's on cooldown, he'll let it go.
So the minion candy there is such a cheap investment, 50 gold. And what it did there was secure the jungle for Tucker. Ingenious could leave his lane, head over towards the center of the map. They bullied T-Tigers away from Mango's camps and ensured that Mango was getting the experience from that Elder Treant, which is so important, getting him closer to that X-Retsu, that level 6, that bridge that he needs to cross if he wants to be useful against Koshka. But it's not just Koshka he's trying to be useful against here. This is T-Tigers Koshka. He has made a name for himself on this pick. His name literally is a kitty cat when you consider it, and it's this Koshka that he's going to be trying to dominate the game on. Mango really has to be careful about what camps he contests.
Tigers able to get that mid there. He's going to get the region off of it, allowing them to go ahead and snowball with some aggression here if they want to. Now, they're a little bit late to the rotation up in the lane. There may be potential damage. Now, this is an opportunity for ROX to just back.
That's 3 minions lost because one of them was a big minion, DNZero. So falling behind on potential CS, but it's even as far as things are concerned. An even CSing stage in the lane is a really good win for Ingenious here on this Black Feather. Can be bullied because he's melee, especially against a Churnwalker. It's very abusive, this Churnwalker. Hooks you up, pulls you around, makes your life a misery. And so Ingenious, his rotations have been fairly good. And that previous rotation from Tribe was a little bit too ambitious from them, but really it's all about getting T-Tigers ahead of Mango. Right now he's struggling to stay ahead. T-Tigers is just invading the jungle now and taking down Mango's health bar, forcing a flask out of him as well. T-Tigers used his own, but that's a win for T-Tigers. He's happy to trade that because the Koshka into the Taka right now is just so far superior.
Yeah, there's a lot of aggression potential there now. With
weapon.
Mango, is he going to go like an on-hit build here?
Yes, so this is something that you see a little bit in EU, a little bit in SEA, so I suppose a little bit in East Asia as well. They love this on-hit effect Taka build. A Tension Bow, a Aftershock, and then a Broken Myth is the build. And
do you like it?
Well, I mean, I've learned from Starboy how to play Taka.
Oh, so we don't need your opinion then. I'm just kidding. Starboy's okay.
I mean, no, there's so much fantastic Taka talent in North America, and the North American Takas would consider them the best Takas in the world, and so they prefer this Aftershock into Clockwork build, which basically allows you to have your combo off cooldown every 5 seconds.
Tigers maybe find himself in a bit of a rough place. He's going to try and use that movement speed from the Koshka to reposition. This is a level 6 Koshka at this point. Mango taking a lot of damage. You got to get back. Yummy Cat and Frizz is there. They got the stun. First blood goes to Tribe. Now potentially looking for more. If they can get this mid camp here, it would be great for them. Just securing this area, keeping the region, and Genius tries to grab it, but it's to Tribe.
It is a great rotation from Tribe. Like you mentioned, level 6 Koshka all comes through from that early aggression that T-Tigers was able to pull against Mango. And not only is that an early lead that Koshka generated, it was an early lead she generated whilst ROX was rotating 3 into the jungle to try and protect Mango. That is insane wins for Tribe, because they have generated a 2,000 gold lead from it. The gold that has been stolen in the jungle, and this CS lead that is just opened up from nowhere for DNZero. A 15 CS lead is just huge. The first blood bonus as well. Tribe snowballing the game as we said they could and they should. ROX are going to be very hard pushed to protect this turret.
Mango now level 6, moving up, has his tension bow complete. How's it going to play out here? Ingenious sitting, you know, sub 50% of his health bar there. It's not like ROX really want to engage. They're just trying to hold this lane.
And we haven't even mentioned it here. Churnwalker is a direct counter to Taka in the same way Petal is, because his chain reveals Taka. If you have Taka chained and he goes into his stealth, then he's not actually stealth. He's just running around in a box.
The real feels bad, man.
It's like Snake from Metal Gear Solid, you know, walking around thinking he's stealthed in front of you in a cardboard box. It really is just that and Mango if he's hooked up by Max Green here. So it's something he has to be careful of. And with this tension bow build, it's the reason I dislike it in this very specific scenario. You need to have your cooldowns up as much as possible, and the clockwork is what allows you to do that. He's not going to be able to have that up as much. He's really going at a very mid-game centric damage orientation. And I don't think you need to do that because the late game is actually fairly strong. From ROX,
down, Tribe. Are they split apart here? T-Tigers burst down ROX. Finding an opening, looking for Max over the top of the trespasses. Ingenious trying to reposition into the lane. Max going in with Zio as he stutter steps backwards there. A little bit of forward barrage as they look to just kite back, and they'll be able to get out of that, but ROX, a really nice play. Really nice play.
They catch out T-Tigers and find an opening here, but what you notice from Mango was he ran out of energy, and that's another part of this on-hit effect build that I dislike, is it actually limits the Taka to only a certain amount of usefulness in a team fight. When you build that clockwork with the changes to clockwork and energy regen in 2.10, you just have so much energy available to you, and with the fact that you can use your abilities off cooldown so much more often and have that energy still, it just seems like a no-brainer here. So what Mango can do, and what he just did there, was he had an early presence on Taka that Tribe Gaming failed to calculate for, but in the late game that presence will not be felt as much, and that's when weapon power Sky shines.
Yeah, it also feels like, I mean, DNZero oftentimes wants to be that key target for them. T-Tigers leaves himself in a more vulnerable position. ROX capitalize on it now. It's Mango, the one that gets capitalized on. Nice block on the Yummy Cat and Frenzy. Mango right back in, though. Nice. He gets chopped down. Almost too easy for Tribe. They read ROX like a book there now. What can they get off the back of this Dowsy? T-Tigers there and there, and they're just going to be able to take this turret with ease. They don't even have the lane minions there, but it's not a problem. DNZero just dishing the damage out at this point. Now, he had Breaking Point picked up. I didn't quite notice that. Also with the level 8 infusion, he's capable of doing significant damage.
Level 8 infusions coming out. T-Tigers one was pretty much the most influential there because he jumped in and with 2 auto attacks took Mango down to half HP, and Mango made the decision to engage whilst half HP. And that was easy pickings for Tribe. It was just too easy with the Churnwalker. Jumping into him whilst you're hooked, well, the Trespass is going to really make your life hard here. He's got himself that reflex block. He's going to need it against this Kosher, against this Churnwalker. The Crucible is there for PQQ as well, but they're missing their window of opportunity here. The point where Taka and Blackfeather are the strongest is now, and Mango has not completed his Aftershock. He needs to have that second tier 3 item online to match the breaking point coming through from Ingenious, the level 6 power spike for PQQ on the Gauntlet as well. That is when ROX ARMADA is the strongest in this game, and they've missed that point. So if Tribe can just hold on a little bit longer, get DNZero a little bit tankier, get T-Tigers to that, I believe it's going to be Broken Myth on this Koshka, then ROX ARMADA have potentially missed all opportunity to win team fights in this game and take the game as a result.
I mean, with that statement, would we expect Tribe to just kind of sit back on the back foot here?
Yeah.
Do they make any sort of aggressive play?
I mean, they can. They can take gold miners, they can bait ROX in, but they have to recognize that once that aftershock is completed in the next couple 100 gold, then Mango does have damage.
Okay, Vanguard onto Ingenious. Ingenious trying to get onto Zeo. Rose offensive, not quite the direction he was looking for. He's doing his best. Breaking point starting to stack up, but Zeo stacking up a lot faster. T-Tiger is able to get 1 kill. PQQ goes down. 3rd kill as Mango falls down, and that's the ace for Tribe as they're up 5-1. And we're really starting to get a feel for why so many people were leaning towards Tribe early on in this game.
Yeah, Tribe, such a solid team when it comes to their coordination, their team play, held together by Max Green. This guy is living in the shadows of D'Enzio and T-Tigers.
He really is. But, you got to mention him.
But he is not worthy of living in the shadows. This guy makes all of the plays on the team. He sets up so perfectly for his jungler and his carry to, you know, do what they want to. Here's that replay, and it was just a really bad decision of a team fight from ROX ARMADA. We talked about the fact they didn't have that aftershock on Taka. They didn't need to be going for this. An easy shutdown, a beautiful death from above locks up all 3, and then D'Enzio's ability to just dance around the fight with that breaking point and that poison shift. Double attack speed means more movement on Sky because of a heroic perk, and it was just too easy for Tribe.
All right, Tribe have position here. They're going to be getting the immense gold payout. Now jumping in with the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. I believe that was blocked off. Zeo trying to kite around. He's going to go ahead and use that reflex, buying a little bit of time. They turn it. Ingenious is the first to fall. Zeo will as well. A 1-for-1. Now Mango actually in a great position. He has a nice bit of energy. He'll get the Vanguard moving in. T-Tiger's out of energy. Mango Expresso in, but blocked off. T-Tiger's really making some nice snazzy plays. Also, really worth mentioning to see the Atlas Pauldron on T-Tigers, a great pickup and very useful for them here.
Yeah, I think Mango, I missed if Mango had that Crystal Infusion sitting in his inventory the whole time and he picked it up on his way out. Because if he had it sitting in his inventory the whole time, then that could have been the difference between 2 kills for ROX ARMADA and a push towards the turret, and then instead just Mango going to his jungles and clearing it up. He has got that aftershock. Like mentioned, it's the power spike. It's the point when ROX ARMADA is the strongest. PQQ is trying to duct tape this together with an Echo. If he can hold it together for a little bit longer, then there's the potential for a snowball for ROX ARMADA, especially coming through towards that 15-minute mark when the Kraken spawns and you can just really turn a game on its head. But if we're talking about power spikes, D'Enzio's hit his 3rd damage item. It's a Sora Blade coming through. He's going to finish off his Aegis as well, which will, you know, have a double prong effect. It will block up an Atlas that's going to come out of Mango next, and it will also block up that X-Retsu that he needs to be blocking when the Tucker dives in. When the Mortal Wounds go on top of him, it's what shuts him down in these team fights. It allows Ingenious just to do so much work. This next team fight is actually a little bit dicey for Tribe, depending on how it goes. If D'Enzio is caught out in it, then it could be a loss for them. So D'Enzio positioning and Max Green and T-Tiger's ability to peel is what we need to be looking at if Tribe wants to win. ROX ARMADA, delete Sky.
I mean, you look at Max right now. He just picks up his tier 2 boots. He's going to be a little bit more mobile, getting into position a little bit better. But he has this Echo.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious to see how he uses this here. Like, if he's got key targets chained up, if he's able to double pull, he can really just pull rocks all around the map right here. And then Zeo, with the mobility on top, it will be so incredibly hard to lock him down.
My favorite Churnwalker plays is when Churnwalker just bullies a single member of the enemy team. You know, there's that great temptation as a Churnwalker to want to land all 3 hooks before you use your Trespass to stun all 3.
Yeah.
But when you have Echo, the ability to hook someone and immediately stun them with Trespass and then use your Torment to bring them closer and further away from their team, and then have that ability to then Trespass the entire team or the remaining members later is so impactful. And Max Green knows perfectly when to use Echo, when to use Trespass, if to use it on the team or on a single member. Mango is the most vulnerable member of ROX ARMADA on this Taka. Sky, yes, she's vulnerable to Taka, but she's going to have armor coming through, which will help against the tension bow. She has the Aegis for the Aftershock already. And so with the Poison Shiv and the Sorrow Blade and the Breaking Point to stack up, she has Sustain available to her. And if Max Green is just singling out Mango and they burst him down, then dealing with PQQ and Ingenious becomes so much easier.
Well, this is right now gold mine being taken. Another immense gold payout, and it looks like it's going to lead to a team fight. Interesting, they stun up on the canceling the gauntlet. PQQ, he does have 2 though. Second one will come down, he's dropping low, throws the Vanguard to Ingenious. PQQ's down now. Is this Tribe just kind of dancing around the fight with the breaking point stacks at 18? Wow, Zio, insane damage output. Now, this looks like Mango will be able to sneak out. Oh, he would have if there wasn't a scout trap down. Max Green with that vision, making it easy for his team. Tiggs is going to be able to chase Mango down, maybe guessing that Mango would have juked back. And it looks like Mango will get out of that one, but just barely.
Yeah, the Kraken's going to go down so quickly. Dienzio's Weapon Power Sky, this Koshka just tears right on through it, and there's no way that Mango can get back towards the middle of the map to stop this. So Tribe are going to be picking themselves up their first Kraken here. And man, oh man, we said Max Green makes those plays. Canceling out a Gauntlet with a Trespass. That is a play indeed. Put that in your portfolio, mate.
I was really hoping that we would see that. Like right when we saw the drafts come together, there's that opportunity just for that huge play.
Man, this is such calculated play from Tribe, a very clean play from Tribe. Have to praise the team for their preparation. Hot Sauce, of course, has been with this roster for so long and has done so much good for this roster, really pulling them together and making sure that they understand metas, understand team fights, understand prioritizations, and they've understood this Tucker, this potentially different build to what we're used to seeing here, at least as Westerners coming on through, and how you can really abuse it if it doesn't get kicking in that really early to mid game. Tribe, what they have to do now is just weather the storm. They don't have to engage fights, they have to kite them.
All right, ROX try to engage this one, but Zio dances over the top side. PQQ is done right off the bat. Not even to mention the Kraken marching into their base. Nice trespass, double stun, and Zio, oh la la, baby. Tribe able to take this one with ease. Easy peasy. Tribe move in, and looks like they're going to be able to close this one out here. Not an incredible fight coming out of ROX here at the end, and Tribe just looking amazing in this matchup.
Tribe have looked fantastic in this matchup, taking down those Vein Crystal turrets. They're going to take down the Vein Crystal here as well, Humus. If you're a Tribe fan right now, you are celebrating because you have just made it on through. You know, maybe not. You've got closer to that point of getting to quarterfinals. If you're an Impunity fan as well, though, it's the same story.
Stand up.
It's one more away for both those teams, and they will find that quarterfinals. ROX ARMADA can really just flip-flop this group. All they have to do is win the next game, and it all goes back to 0. That's a lot of pressure on the backs of the former world champions.
Take down this squad, Tribe. But, you know, coming here into Singapore, there's a few teams that are obviously on your radar. You're standing up here, Cloud9 watching closely. That's one of them. Tribe definitely one of the other teams that were on my radar here.
Yeah, for sure. Tribe has always been that team that in a live environment you consider to be the best of the best. They came into the North American Vainglory 8 in summer, titled the TSM Killers, and in summer they killed TSM in the semifinals. They made such a beautiful run through the Unified Live Champions to qualify, get that wildcard spot awarded to them to be here on the world stages. And right now, against the former world champions, they're saying, thank you very much. We definitely deserve that wildcard spot.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Game 1 coming out of Tribe. Of course, they've got another one. ROX maybe can pull it back. But to break that one down, we'll throw it over to Munchables and our analyst.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, we are here on the analyst desk, ready to break that one down. Now, this group, across the course of these series, has been exceptionally close every single game. But then, coming into this third and final series, that's not as close as we were expecting here. Tribe coming out swinging, showing the strength of North America, and ROX ARMADA, honestly, leaving something to be desired here.
Yeah, and this was ROX ARMADA with Ingenious in. You know, we thought maybe, with Druid in, maybe that was an issue for them, and then putting Ingenious in would help them out and bring them back up to the level that we expected out of them. But Tribe just took care of business, regardless of who the carry was, it feels like. So now there's going to be a lot of questions for ROX to answer, because there's a very real possibility that they do not make it to the quarterfinals.
I have to go back to that Adagio band that we saw come out of ROX ARMADA in the draft, deciding to take it away from Tribe because they thought that it was one of DNZO's strongest picks. It is, but in 2.10, that's not what you have to worry about. You have to worry about the Sky Open Power, the Koshka that ROX ARMADA or Tribe can bring out, because they like to play so aggressive. So ROX ARMADA really just did not read Tribe well enough.
Oh, unfortunately.
Once again, Sui.
Suijay's got a bit of a throat problem. Sometimes his voice doesn't come out.
I think production was just like, you
Trying
know
to
what?
lean over and
His last couple predictions haven't been on point. Let's just stop those out.
But let's get back to talking about the game, because this wasn't just ROX not really managing to show up. This was also Tribe absolutely showing up. Game 1 today, or sorry, Series 1 today against Impunity. That was against an Impunity that have absolutely outdone expectations. But ROX really haven't been living up, and Tribe are more than happy to punish that, it seems. Coming into this game, they knew exactly what they needed to do and just spent the first, 10 minutes of the game just racking up a lead for themselves.
What I also liked about how Tribe played it there is once they had the first few levels not going in their favor as much as they had hoped, they didn't panic. They just waited for their power spikes. Once they got them mid-game with the Solar Blade, the Breaking Point, the Aftershocks on Koshka, then they started pushing even more aggressively, and they capitalized on the strength of their composition. So keeping calm and collected, like we know these players can do, especially with Max Green, we talk about him all the time, doing a very good job of understanding, even though the early game didn't go as well as it could have, they could still win this game.
Yeah, I gotta say the MVP of that match was definitely Max Green. I mean, the way that he played against the Arden, right, hooked the right amount of teamers and then got multiple 2 to 3 man stuns and canceling ultimates and abilities. That was just amazing how he played on Churnwalker. And this is why when you see Churnwalker, he just excels in every composition. This is why most of the time Churnwalker is banned and denied from top teams. And this is a good show. Tribe really showed why Churnwalker has to be banned usually.
Yeah, I was going to say, our first couple games of the day, we saw that Churnwalker be a permanent fixture in the bans. And now that he's gotten through, he has made a massive impact. Even in the one game he didn't win, was still a very big factor in that game. But we are looking like we might be getting ready for draft in game number 2. And again, if Tribe picks up this win, they are first in this group. They are going to quarterfinals as the #1 seed out of Group C, and Impunity will be in the #2 seed as well. So this is ROX with their backs against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're about to get on into game number 2 of this series. So we need to start to talk about what is going to be happening during this draft. What do you guys expect to see? Because it feels like ROX, they need to just go back to the drawing board in this draft. Because like you mentioned before, Araki, the Adagio ban didn't seem appropriate, letting the Churnwalker through. There were quite a few holes in this one.
I mean, going into this next draft, as well as the story of last game, I feel like is about the priority captain picks. Giving them over to your opponent is not something that is, teams will have to second guess themselves now doing it through the draft, especially if you allow them to build a very strong comp around that top priority picks, which is either the Churnwalker or the Lyra so far. Those are the two that have stood out the most so far.
He said, yeah, that's all I've got on the analysis from that one. Unfortunately, Suijay not having a fun time with the microphone on this one. But yeah, Churnwalker, high priority pick in these pick and bans. And wouldn't be, to be honest, I'd be very surprised if ROX Armada allow that to go on through. But other side of that coin, they are A side this time. So first pick for them, they could let that through, and maybe Tribe are the ones that would have to ban that one instead.
Yeah, and I would highly expect Tribe to ban it away unless they just feel like ROX does not play Churnwalker themselves. That's when it becomes, very interesting to see where they decide to go with that selection. But it is going to be the Batiste as the first ban, so ROX just really not wanting to deal with this hero.
I feel like ROX Armada is just going to be like, we're going to throw everything out of the window and go for a Koshka first pick, because it's something that actually won us game last championship. It was the same scenario where TSM pulled out the Koshka, they beat them with it, then ROX Armada adapted and started winning with the Koshka pick, though. I mean, it's just going to be really enjoyable to see that happen if it is the case.
Yeah, and so, I mean, with that ban, you can see Tribe putting a lot of thought into their own ban now. So maybe being caught off guard a little bit by the Batiste ban. They are going to take Arden off the board, so challenging ROX Armada perhaps. Say, do you play the Churnwalker, or are you going to leave it open for us once again?
Tribe response.
Lyra is still open, and this is another pick that Max Green excels on, especially if they build a composition where they can play the range advantage and the sustain advantage. They go for it, so ROX Armada might have been baited into picking that Churnwalker.
Very well could have been. With Still a lot of power picks. You have Blackfeather, Rona, the Koshka that we've started to see a little bit now as well, with Batiste Band especially. A lot of these picks now need to be in consideration for this second wave of bands.
The other thing that's very interesting is that if they manage to build a ranged composition versus the Churnwalker, that's one of the ways that you can counter him, because if you keep your distance, it's really easy to keep on running away from him. When his hook and chains land on you, you just break them immediately, and keeping on damaging him when he tries to walk up to you is a very effective way of dealing with that hero.
Yeah, Baron is a very interesting ban here because Baron doesn't actually synergize as well with Churnwalker, because now Blackfeather is still open, Vox is open, right? And Rona is still open. Those are all extremely strong carries that can pair with the Churnwalker very, very well. So let's see what Armada is going to ban here. They're going to go ahead and take away the Alpha. So does that mean they want to play Taka? But
Vox.
Taka isn't as good as into a Lyra. So maybe they want the Vox pick or Rona pick here.
I mean, if they go for the Vox, it would make sense with the Baron ban.
I mean, it would make sense, but then you still have to worry about things that can still deal with the Rona. And you have like the Kroll that can come out to get those weakness stacks built up. But of course, with the damage share from Churnwalker, you can kind of deal with the Kroll a little bit better as well. So there's definitely a lot of options and a lot of different ways that this draft could finish out.
We'll have to see where Tribe are going to go with this one. Just 30 seconds left of their bonus time. And this is the point in the draft where we'll start to see these two teams take directions here with their compositions. You know, Lyra and Churnwalker don't really give too much away in the draft.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they picked up the Blackfeather here to try and flex it. Yeah. Sky, I was going to mention, is another hero that can play that range composition versus the Churnwalker, and at that point they would have a hero that they just won with. But instead they're going to go with that Vox that they banned the Baron for in the first place.
Yeah, it still keeps that range composition. You can still deal with a Rona if the Rona does come through for ROX. So I like the pick by Tribe, just kind of safeguarding themselves a little bit almost for what they expect ROX Armada to go for.
The Vox always going to be a safe pick, always something that you can pick into most compositions just to kind of fill that carry role and do a good job in most styles of play. It's very similar to the Lyra and just a very safe, very versatile pick.
Yeah, well, I'd love to see here if they could play some Lorelei with Blackfeather. Or Koshka, again, Churnwalker Koshka combination is so deadly in jungle. That's a lot of jungle pressure in early game. Now they can round this out with potentially, if they want to do Gwen. Gwen is very bursty, strong early game as well. They pair really well with Koshka along with that stun combination. But Blackfeather could look really good as well.
It would be interesting if ROX Armada picked up Sky Weapon Power here to
Sky Weapon Power
Tribe's
could work
composition
too,
against them and try to win with it.
Kestrel
Instead, they're going to go
instead.
with the Kestrel. I was going to say, Tribe's draft so far has been very smart because they took away both Baron and Vox, and they left open to ROX Armada the things that are counterable with the Vox, such as the Rona. So they kind of pinched Ingenious in that carry role with his heroes, forcing him to go on to the Kestrel, which is something not as strong in 2.10.
Yeah, but we've seen it be pretty strong in 2.10 earlier today, so it's definitely a pick that you cannot count out. But the Blackfeather to be the answer here by Tribe, likely to be that Crystal Blackfeather in the jungle to try and deal with the Koshka.
Yeah, we are maybe seeing ROX learning from Impunity, honestly, in these drafts. The Kestrel did absolute wonders for Impunity earlier on in the day. We'll see if ROX can pull that one out. I want to ask, who do you guys favor after this draft? Who's looking strong coming
I think
into
the
game?
drafts are pretty even, but I'm a big fan of Churnwalker, so I'm going to have to give this one to ROX Armada.
ROX Armada?
I still feel like Tribe has this one. I'm going to go Tribe.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tribe as well, just because ROX Armada, it's been a very long time since early aggression has been their suit. It goes all the way back to last World Championship. Throughout 2017, they didn't play this style very effectively. Now they're trying to bring it out against a Tribe on this international stage. I feel like it's a little bit too risky, so I'm giving it over to Tribe.
All right, we'll see if Tribe can do this one. If Tribe can win this one, not only do they qualify themselves for the quarterfinals, they also get Impunity through into the quarters as well. This would be the end of ROX's reign in the World Championship. We'll see if that will come to pass. It's about time that we pass this one over to our casters. It's about time that Humanist and Dowsy take us away to see if the world champions will fall.
Yeah, it's about time, Munchables. Thanks for the throw over to us. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, man. Wow, huge implications here. If Tribe can come through and take this series, what does it mean to them as a team? but what does it mean to this whole entire championship?
It changes everything. Everything we know currently about Vainglory gets to be rewritten. You are the world champion until you lose, until you exit the tournament, and this could be that time for ROX ARMADA. That is how important it is for them that they take this match off of Tribe. By doing so, they create a three-way tie.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun.
Oh, there's very interesting drafts out here. It looks like once again we most likely see this Crystal Power Black Feather, this time played by T Tigers. We know he likes to play aggressively, and with his eye to get in there and apply that burst damage, I'm actually pretty scared for Ingenious.
Yeah, and I talked to T Tigers earlier about how he felt the current state of the jungle was on this update, what he was really enjoying. CP Blackfeather was definitely one of those heroes that he figured was pretty damn strong. He's at the top of my tier list for the jungle. 2.10, very, very strong hero. So much playmaking ability, and against a Koshka, against a Kestrel, you can do so much as well. ROX ARMADA though, T Tigers has to watch out.
Mango, a lot of damage. He's in there. Twirly Death, he's got the buffed attacks again. He uses the healing flask. Now it's time to kind of jump around and make some tough decisions. Mango, a lot of damage. He's getting this damage out. T Tigers trades, but look at that sigil. Max Green keeping his team alive, just what they needed.
Yeah, and so we saw this. It was so pure from Tribe Gaming in the previous matchup. The damage that can come out in the early stages of the game from a Koshka, from a Churnwalker. ROX have just snapped up that option for themselves. The difference here, in the way that Tribe Gaming can combat it, is that they have this Vox, which is very mobile and can be very sustained in his damage and his healing. Pair that with Lyra, the strongest captain when it comes to healing in the game right now. Max Green can really just bridge the gap and keep his carries alive. And if that allows T Tigers to ramp up the damage, especially if we see him go this Aftershock Dragon's Eye build, which I'm predicting he will considering his opponents here, then the ability to ramp up damage and sustain health from the Lyra is going to be so key for Tribe winning team fights.
Is that kind of from the get-go with Tribe? I mean, you talked about the items you like to see T Tigers build up, but at what point does that playstyle kick in, or is that just kind of from A?
I mean, against a Koshka, you have to be very cautious about the fight you're taking. See DN0 rotating down. They're trying to shut down Mango.
Yeah, Mango got the Elder Tree, and so he's going to get a little regen. Also worth noting, there is that Protector contract coming out of PQQ. So that comes out, and it's actually pretty nice, allowing him to tank up and stay on that front line.
Yeah, so PQQ has, obviously 3 options if he wants to go contracts. The Iron Guard would be good if he felt that he needs to sustain his laner or jungler because they're going to have weak matchups. The Protector is good if you cannot use the Dragon Blood to its full potential, and so the difference would be if PQQ could get really close up and personal with the enemies, the Dragon Blood paired with a Koshka would be very strong. But this Churnwalker is a bit more of a backline captain, and that's where the Protector is the better option if you want to be 2-man invading T Tigers and trying to shut him down.
T Tigers doing a little bit of scouting there, realizes he's not ready to play games just yet. Up in the lane, it's Max Green just babysitting Zeo there. Max Green getting yanked around a little bit, but not too big of a deal. PQQ drops down into the jungle. Once again, it looks like Mango gets the Elder Tree, and he will get it. Once again, that's regen going his way. Hook and Chains lands on the T Tigers. He's yanked back. Has he gone too far? No. Of course, once again, Max Green, he drops. He gives that sigil to his teammate. That's healing and movement speed.
But they're going to invade into the jungle here as a 3-man and really try and push the issue.
Oh, Tiggs. If he didn't get that, that was a great opportunity for ROX to snowball through the jungle. They still might be able to get a couple of the backs here. There's one to Mango. Zeo dropping very low. You're not ready to fight yet, DNZO. One more attack, he might go down. Oh, the healing blast. They baited it. Trying to pull them back up under their turret. But ROX will not fall for that one.
3 flasks just got popped as well in that little period of a time. ROX ARMADA holds on to 2 of them. This is a very big ability, a point of power that ROX can abuse. If another one of those fights breaks out and those flasks haven't regened yet for Tribe, then a massive advantage available. That's going to be PQQ backporting, but he doesn't have gold for a fountain. And realistically, you want to be getting fountains before the 5-minute mark as a captain here on the big stage. You can get them 4 minutes if you've dominated through the lane, but you know, the jungle has been the main issue for these two teams, and so it's going to be a little bit delayed. I say delayed, here it comes for PQQ. Max Green almost with the gold for it as well, so it will be pre-5 minutes for both these guys here. And so that is not delayed whatsoever, but it just kind of shows the way this game has played out. Because it's 5 minutes rather than 4, it shows the teams are focusing on the jungle, and that's where they're trying to generate their leads rather than through the lane.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I love to see the way these teams do adapt. You know, moving forward here, this is a very even game. Another nice move from ROX. They're able to get this mid-tree on a little bit of healing, and they steal away. That's golden experience going their way. It's not going to T-Tigers. I mean, this is a guy that you want to keep shut down. He's getting very close to this aftershock. He actually should have it as soon as he drops down here into the jungle. And Tribe, they're going to hit you know, a small, one of their first power spikes.
Yeah, and the difference between a Koshka and a Black Feather is, we see this so often with Koshka players, is they build that heavy prism before the aftershock, so that when they have aftershock, their power spike is even more threatening and harder to deal with. It really just provides so much extra power to Koshka, and it makes her very difficult to kind of expect when that damage does come out. We know that Lyra is very good at shutting down Koshka's. Well-timed Bright Bulwarks, good usage of Sigil can be imperative. So Max Green's going to have that ability to carry his team via that Lyra play. And like you mentioned earlier, Aftershock comes through for T-Tigers first. Not that it's going to make too much of a difference now that Mango has the gold to go purchase it.
Mango, not ready to jump down and do any purchasing, just jet dancing around with his team. Looks like they'll drop as 3, spend a little bit of that money. No, just go straight to the gold miner.
Yeah, that's clever.
Hey, why not? I do like that a lot. Flares come out here.
And Infusion has been purchased for Ingenious as well. Level 6 very early, 500 gold. Get the gold miner, that's a 400 gold payment back towards you. At this 6-minute mark, I'm not sure it's full. Oh,
Max Green!
What is this, man? This guy does this so often, steals everything, kills everyone. A captain who carries his team. Really just setting up the show reel right now.
That's not nice.
It's not nice, but who cares? Max Green just stole gold miner.
Yeah, they're feeling good about that right now.
That's just you, like, someone does something amazing and your feelings are hurt, so you throw like a your mum joke or something back at them. That's what that one shot was.
All right, Dowsey. I like it. I like it a lot. Max holding down the lane here. PQQ. They're not the hook and chain. A little torment, a love there. It's not really a problem. Zeo makes his way out here. He won't be missing any of that lane farm just yet. Zeo 66 last to the 70 of Ingenious. So both laners keeping pace with each other pretty well thus far.
No, Dienzio with an advantage here is huge because he's on the Vox into a Kestrel. Turret does go down. There's so much potential with the Koshka and the Kestrel, as you can expect, to burst down these objectives. But Vox should not have a CS lead over Kestrel whatsoever. And so it's only small. But the fact that Dienzio has kept up in the CS there is actually a huge win for him, because Kestrel's ability to bully Vox in the early game is what really allows Kestrel to have such a great mid-game to late game towards him. She's usually able to get those tier 3 items completed just a little bit quicker than the Vox is able to, due to the fact that her CSing is a little bit more consistent, and she can deny farm through her great burst damage her killing the shots do in lane.
Oh, with that turret down, Tribe don't really have the safety that they had before. PQQ continuously just hook and chains coming out here. He's like to get Zeo, and he's done a great job thus far. There's 2. Torment back, you see, he just continuously gets those out. He pulls them back, keeping Tribe a little bit off balance, buying time for Mango to steal away a little bit more of that jungle, and it's just slowly but surely building up a small lead.
Yeah, but let us not forget that T-Tigers, so Max Green stole that gold miner, and there was a 500 gold investment that came out of Ingenious to secure the gold miner, and then that investment hasn't reaped any reward yet.
Oh, a nice block on that ultimate coming out of PQQ there. Now, Tribe able to get out of that one. That could have been a dangerous situation. You got to thank Max Green for that if you're a Tribe.
Yeah, really great stuff coming out of Max Green. Really hitting all the nails on the head right now. This guy pretty much came out of nowhere. Max Green was just considered, you know, a really good support, really good player. Could play pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Have him as a substitute on your team, and you're going to have great security. And then all of a sudden, he just became the best captain, like out of nowhere, and carries and makes so many plays, and is just really dedicated himself to improving his play to such a level that Tribe is so unpredictable now. On the live stage, the T-Tigers DNZO live buff that is so well renowned, and now a Max Screen that you have to deal with as well.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, in the competitive scene on stream, yeah, maybe it felt that way, but there were rumblings before we actually saw him breaking out. Like, almost every player that he's ever played against was just speaking volumes to this guy, like saying, you know, Max Green is no joke. You guys just wait till you see him, and it's really showing here. Tribe, they've taken ROX down low on health. It's going to be the port back from Ingenious, and maybe an opportunity for Tribe to actually take this turret down. They have their minions here. Mango jumps in. Twirly Death, he's got those bonus attacks right there, but he can't trade the damage, and it looks like Tribe, they take this turret, maybe more if they'd like to get in there, but why not? Be happy with that.
Yeah, and just to reiterate that point that we heard from Araki Zoro earlier on the analyst desk, ROX and ARMADA are trying to go back to their roots here, trying to play that early game aggression that won them a world championship in 2016, something that they have long forgotten in the 2017 Vainglory esports season. Because of this, and because of the fact that they haven't really been able to generate a huge lead over their opponents yet, it's a very scary prospect for them. Koshka should be further ahead than the Black Feather is in such a way that it's noticeable. Kestrel should be dominating Vox right now, but clearly so far Ingenious hasn't been able to have that effect. What has happened to ROX and ARMADA over the last couple of months is the question here. Have they just become complacent in their play, or is it just the team dynamics have broken apart? They've gone through a couple of swaps, you know, Willie exiting the team, Ingenious coming in as this, you know, substitute they bring in and out. It's been a hard time for ROX and ARMADA, and I think they've struggled to potentially find that world championship status in themselves. They haven't know yet. I'm talking like it's in a eulogy right now. I don't want to be that guy, but we haven't seen that ROX that's so fierce yet, that just shut down everyone that comes upon them, that the ROX that basically told the world that East Asia is to be feared against North America. Right now, Tribe are looking for redemption, it seems, from last year's World Championships.
I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into it, you know. We talk about the changes that ROX has gone through, but at the same time, everybody else has been trying their best to get to that spot that ROX was at. And if everybody continues to work, that level of competition, that level of skill across the board has gone up, and it's really showing here.
And let us not forget that after DNZO's performance at the World Championship, really a standout breakout performance, I believe, for DNZO, pairing with T-Tigers, that move was so premeditated that they wanted to win Worlds. Yeah. They came together and they said...
This was a team built to win this.
Yeah, and we have two of those in North America. We have the dream team of 2017, Cloud9, and then you have this Tribe roster that has just emerged from the shadows, the dark horse of North America. And both these teams look so prepped to do their bidding. But Tribe here, against the former world champion, have shown that their improvement since summer especially has just gone leaps and bounds. And if they're able to continue playing this very calm and measured style and really just holding Mango at bay right now, really not allowing Mango or PQQ to make the plays that he wants to, then they're only getting stronger. And this game is only getting easier for them as this time goes on.
Yeah, Tribe feeling pretty comfortable right now. I think if you would have talked to them before, this would have been one of the compositions that they would have been pretty happy to have. Vox, steady as she goes, you know. The Black Feather is so incredibly strong right now of all the heroes that you could be picking up, paired with, of course, the Lyra that so many teams would be happy to have. When you put it all together, this team is incredibly well balanced.
Yeah, it certainly is. And We're going to see it very shortly, I think. As soon as Dienzio finishes that Sorrow Blade that he's got building in his inventory and has the gold to re-infuse, that's when Tribe are going to be looking for fights. ROX need to use this time window so carefully now. They have all 3 infusions available to them, so Gold Miner needs to be started up and a fight needs to be baited out, and they need to win that fight. If they don't win this next fight, then that is detrimental.
A nice Yummy Cannon Frenzy to start things off here. Who's going to be the main target? It's Zio taking the brunt of the damage, but he stays alive with the Trust Pass coming through. Will it be enough? Tribe actually lose Zio off the bat. Now Max decides he's got to tuck tail and run. T-Tigers gets away for it. 538 healing coming out there, keeping Max Green alive. The fountain used on both teams. ROX come out ahead, and it looks like that'll be a free gold mine.
Yeah, it should be a free gold mine. I don't see any steals coming through from Max Green right now, and that is going to be a huge amount of gold going over to the ROX squad, putting them up by 1,000 here. It's just going to solidify their moment of strength that they have found for themselves. A moment where Ingenious is getting closer and closer to finishing that Bonesaw, a 3rd damage item on Kestrel. And this is because of the fact that Dienzio has prioritized and respectfully prioritized defense against this Koshka. A full Aegis completed, that tier 1 shielding, light armor, in fact, I should say, against this Kestrel, just to try and reduce by a significant percentage that Glimmer Shot that's coming out. But with a Piercing Spear and a Bonesaw to come out for Ingenious very shortly, that needs to turn into full tier 3 armor very quickly for Dienzio, and he needs to finish the Sorrow Blade. He has the gold for the Sorrow Blade now. Tribe are trying to kite back to allow Dienzio time to shop, but if ROX can recognize this, then they will move into the enemy jungle and try and secure themselves a Crystal Sentry here, or at least try and gain control over the enemy jungle. We're sitting only 30 seconds away from the Kraken spawning, so taking the Gold Miner, even though it's nowhere near fully filled, does give you extra gold that you can use, but I think ROX really just want to try and bait Tribe into a death bush more than anything.
I mean, you look at this game, the kill score 1-0, Kraken's about to come out onto the map right now. It feels like a slow game, but it's been methodical. Like, everything that ROX has done, it's been a really smart decision. Their invades, they haven't pushed too far, and when they finally did take that kill, they were able to get objectives off it. You know, they find themselves slightly ahead, and they've been one step ahead in these engagements. The question now, though, is can they do it with Kraken out on the map? Yeah, that's a really important question, Humanist, considering the fact that Dienzio has hit that point of damage that he is going to be able to stack up that breakpoint, do so much. Max Green may be caught out here. Yeah, Max with the bulwark down, stopping a little bit of mobility. Nice block from the Yummy Cannon Frenzy. Turn around and Ingenious drop down. Nice 3-man stun from PQQ will disrupt that fight. And Tribe, they have this opportunity now, though, to go ahead and take this Kraken unless, I don't know, some miracle steal. No, some ports back. It's going to be a free Kraken.
Wow, what a play coming out of Dienzio to be able to position so aggressively and understand this Koshka match, this Kestrel matchup he's playing into. Kraken unleashed for Tribe. North America's got to be smiling, as is SEA right now, as ROX are falling lower and lower in the chances of coming back in this game. This Koshka is going to be falling off the scale against this CP Blackfeather very shortly, and if PQQ and Ingenious can't step up to substitute to that lack of power that Koshka can output, then this could just be GG.
Tribe in a great position right now, just throwing that damage out, letting the on-point work from range. PQQ doing his best to stay at the front side for his team to keep this hook and chain up. ROX on the back foot, but they're doing a good job to get the damage out onto this Kraken. Kraken now onto the choke point turret. Tribe playing this nice and slow at this point. They really don't have to force anything. Essentially a free push right here, and this is one of the biggest objectives when you are looking to break into an opponent's base here, Dowsey. I mean, what do you feel the chances of ROX in this game here right now? Can they come back? I mean, what would you give the odds of taking Tribe down right now?
It's 20%. Like, it is very low for ROX Armada. It requires Tribe to miss position. It requires Dienzio not to block a Koshka ultimate, for Max Green to not block a influential Churnwalker. This is relying on failure from Tribe rather than your ability to force failure. And so ROX ARMADA's chances right now are low, very, very low. And that is not the place you want to be as an East Asia fan or a fan of the current world champions. It is not a position you want to be whatsoever. Ingenious was brought onto this roster to bridge the gap of flashiness to consistency for ROX Gaming, ROX ARMADA, and this is the moment that they need him to step up the most. This is the moment that they need to take this consistent laner, and he needs to make the flashy plays that allows him to take over a game and prove to the world once more that East Asia and ROX ARMADA are the team to be feared here at this World Championship. Because if this Kestrel cannot dish out the damage, if PQQ cannot increase the damage through the hook and chains and find those torments and trespassers, then Tribe have successfully, Impunity have successfully dethroned the Kings.
Tribe playing it slow, playing it safe here, and why not? I mean, this is such an important game. Right now, 1-1, almost 19 minutes in. We'll be waiting for the Kraken to spawn back out onto the map. Just slow rolling it right now. Staying as 3 through the jungle, and I like this a lot.
And it's such a difference of styles, isn't it? These two best of twos we've witnessed of ROX ARMADA, one against Impunity, one against Tribe. Tribe have just played such a calm and calculated gameplay as this Kraken start up. They don't know it's, wow, ROX have just stolen this.
Nice little one shot to secure that Kraken right there. Now, ROX leaning into that 20% dowsing.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And that is once more a failure of Tribe to recognize that Kraken could go through. I think they felt that ROX were playing too passive to make plays like this, but let's not forget these are the world champions. These are the kind of people who can turn it on its head, who can prove once more that they're the best. Max Green engages.
A nice engage by Max. They're on to Ingenious. Ingenious burst down. The squishy Kestrel popped right there by Tribe. Now has the play, the Torment pulling Max back, but the chase is on Mango dancing through the jungle. Zio's locked on. Zio building up the breaking point stacks, and you don't run away from this guy. Sorry, Mango. A delicious Mango snack for Dienzio. Sonic zooming his way forward. Oh, the wait for it. Oh, did I bait him? Oh, I cursed him right here. Zio, I can't believe he got
Max
away.
Green's got it.
Oh,
the carry killer is here.
Max Green could carry me, dude. This guy's real good.
If you wanna have a ranking buddy, then solicit the help of Max Green. This guy is phenomenal. Whilst Dienzio was chasing down Mango and Max Green following him, throwing sigils his way, he blocks up a trespass so that T-Tigers can continue chasing PQQ. Like, he has eyes in the back of his head and then some. He is watching every angle, knowing exactly what needs to happen. That very sneaky play coming out of ROX ARMADA, so easily handled by Tribe. And now they just go back to where they were before. A position where they are so close to finishing out this game. ROX didn't get enough of that Kraken, and they're starting to look like they don't have enough in the tanks to take down Tribe.
I wish I had eyes on Impunity right now, because I bet they're pretty hype watching Tribe slowly just closing out on this game, making huge plays like that. And, you know, I honestly can't really tell like how, if Max Green gets another engage like that onto Ingenious with a flare down, like, is there anything that Ingenious can actually do?
So PQQ has a Norwave Gauntlet, which is, you know, pretty good if you can force a Crucible out, but Max Green knows that.
I mean, talk to us about it.
He has a Reflex block in his inventory. The Norwave Gauntlet gets blocked by the Reflex block. The Churnwalker Ultimate gets blocked by the Crucible. You're back to square zero once more. And so far, square zero has been Tribe winning these team fights. It's just counters to the plays that are coming through. Good flare, spots out, but there's the engage.
There's the engage. They're going to look to get on Ingenious here once more if they can. The active camo trap. They turn around. They get the stun off onto T-Tigers. Both teams trading the damage. Zio dropping low with breaking play stacks. He blows Ingenious up. And now Mango just run, kitty cat, run. They can't run fast enough. Zio We'll be able to get the kill. One more attack here.
Zio.
Oh, gives him the taunt, Zio. I like you.
Listen to that crowd cheer. That is a crowd that knows Tribe have just taken a game. That is a crowd that knows Tribe have just dethroned the world champions. And that is a crowd that knows their home team of Impunity
Tribe
are
have done it.
going to the quarterfinals. GG 2-0 Tribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tribe. ROX Armada, you came a long way. You did it last year. It's not going to happen this time. What an amazing series here for Tribe. I'm really impressed with this team. And Impunity as well. They got to be feeling real good right about now.
Absolutely. Impunity have shown up big here to be able to take down the world champions in their series, to be able to take it even with Tribe. That shows great growth from their Spring Championship defeat in the finals, their Summer Championship win in the finals, obviously, and let us just take a moment to pay our due respects. ROX.
You gave a live eulogy, now we'll have a moment of silence.
When you build a throne high, the fall is just ever so great. And a group stage exit for the world champions shows how far the rest of the world has come when it comes to matching the absolute domination of ROX Armada back in 2016. They have come so far. And unfortunately for ROX Armada, this is where we do say goodbye.
Good night, ROX. Hello, Tribe. And Impunity. I mean, these guys, incredibly exciting. Coming into this, I always felt like Impunity had a chance. I think a lot of people were kind of thinking maybe ROX, Tribe are the two that would move on. Yeah. But it's really nice to see, especially for the home crowd here. And they really did put on a show. But with Tribe, it's the very exciting and huge plays to go ahead and round this up. But to break this down, let's go ahead and throw it over to Munchables and our analysts.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, we're ready to break this one down. And before we jump into the specifics of that game, I want to just remind everyone that Tribe taking a 2-0 in this series not only means that they qualify themselves for the quarterfinals, but it also means that they guarantee Impunity, the Singapore home team, have made it into the quarterfinals, eliminating ROX Armada, the previous world champions. Everything coming into the World Championship, all of the predictions have been turned on their heads. And now, things are starting to take shape as we head towards the quarterfinals.
Yeah, what an amazing, amazing play by Tribe. I mean, just phenomenal how they responded to the power spikes. And Max Green stealing the gold miner, Crucible blocking the Churnwalker ultimate trespass, and then making so many plays with the flare and then the teleport onto the Kestrel and focusing down Kestrel. They just played phenomenal. The focus, they did definitely earn and deserve this win.
Yeah, a well-deserved first seed coming out of the group. They will be gaining as a result of that 2-0, walking out of the group stage with 3 victories under their belt. And again, just completely dominating the members of ROX. This was not that close of a series compared to what many people would have been expecting coming on in here.
Yeah, I mean, with ROX Armada losing that series just right there, it means that 2 out of the 3 East Asian teams are already knocked out of the tournament, and ROX Armada and Nation Gaming. I mean, that's just so amazing, seeing how many people expected that EA would come out so strong. And I feel like the reason why this has been the case is because they didn't adapt quickly enough. And in a group stage that is so quickly with a best of 2, if you don't adapt to the meta and you don't adapt to your opponents right on the spot, you're just going to lose like that.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've been kind of talking to a couple of people about is a lot of the teams coming into this tournament, it feels like they're treating these games as best of 3s, where you can afford to lose a game. In this format, you cannot afford to drop games. Each point is a quarter of your tournament life, essentially. So you cannot afford to drop any of those games. You cannot afford to go even in a series if you want to make it to the quarterfinals. And we've seen The ROX Armada, unfortunately, not going to be able to do that in this one. Let's talk a little bit more about what actually happened in this game, though. What was it that Tribe were able to do to actually secure themselves this win and push on forward into the quarterfinals?
Yeah, well, they were behind in the first 5 minutes because Armada honestly played a really good early game. Mango was so aggressive, stealing the middle healer from T-Tire a couple of times, giving them about a 1K gold lead, and they turn it around when they take turret at the 10-minute mark and then start to focus down the Kesho in almost every fight. When Engineers went down, they won every single fight, and they knew their win condition, and they just executed to a T.
To be fair, though, Tribe did an incredible job of getting through that early game. I mean, they just didn't give over to ROX Armada what they didn't need to. They didn't give them too many kills, too many gold leads. Actually, they didn't give them any kills until so later on in the game. It was 1 kill for the first 15 minutes of that game. And we're going to take a look at a replay right here.
Yeah, this was a highlight moment for Max Green. Dienzio, kind of a little bit too cocky in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was going to be a kill for sure for Dienzio, but as he gets too far away, you think, okay, maybe he avoids the ace, but Max Green coming through in the end, having the wherewithal to leave the other fight that was going on to his teammates and to T-Tigers, knowing that T-Tigers would be able to secure the other kill and rotating down so that they could secure the ace. It's, again, just the heads-up play that